Okay, so I just wanted to know, how do you feel implementing the handwriting paper is going for you and your students now that you've been using it for a week?
Yeah. I think it was the right move. Before that, we were just using like the blank whiteboard. So students, there was a lot of free range to like write with write a lowercase letter very big or drawing. And so that was taking away from instructional time and also, wanting to work on their handwriting as well, because that's something that, my class, I think second grade in general needs to work on. So that first day was stressful because it was the first day, it was a new routine. They were like, wow, playing with the plastic, like the sheet. But it's helped a lot. We're seeing them transfer that, like, right, following the ferrocarril, o sea, like the lines.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that in English? I don't know why I know it in
So
Spanish, but like
I just call it dotted line
dotted line,
paper.
the dotted
Yeah.
lines. So we're seeing that then transfer at least for the spelling assessments. Still working on that for like
Awesome.
independent work where we use the dotted line
Okay.
paper. But yeah, yesterday we did an assessment and we saw a lot more like capital letters, going up to the dotted line for lowercase. So it's helping. It's helping a lot. And I feel like I think I already mentioned this, but very like I think maybe one student is maybe drawing where the last time with the whiteboard it was like 5 or 6 students every single day, reminders to not draw. So
Wow. Wow. I was going to ask those questions. Like,
yeah.
have you seen any change, transfer to your spelling? And you're saying
Yes.
you're already seeing that,
Mhm.
but you still haven't seen it, like on all
Yeah.
work, but
Yeah.
they're in the process.
Yeah. In the process. Yeah, and I think it's just something that, we have students writing like with uppercase randomly in the middle of their sentences. So, maybe their lowercase is correct, but I think that also, like, they're using the lines correctly, yes, for uppercase letters, but like just
In the middle of a word.
exactly, exactly.
And it sounds like you've also seen improvements like in their kind of ability to follow the instruction
Yeah.
of not drawing. It's kind of reduced
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
their temptation to draw all over their whiteboard.
100%, yeah.
Have you noticed any students that responded particularly well to the change? Like any students that were really struggling before and now you're seeing like this scaffold has really
Yeah,
improved?
I think a student like Melik, whose handwriting is quite messy. Um, I think like I'm seeing him, again, for example, we did like a flip book yesterday or the last couple of days, and there was no lined paper. Ah! And I was like, big mistake, big mistake. Like it was something we kind of did last minute planning, and it wasn't, I think sometimes when the focus wasn't necessarily like, okay, they're handwriting here, but I think being intentional moving forward, like even if the focus is science and it's not their writing, we still want to make sure that we have that line paper for them, because then again on the carpet, I think Medic with the blank whiteboard, it was just a mess.
All over the place.
And now it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
When he has that. And then again, during independent work, when he does have that dotted line paper, we're seeing improvements. But
Awesome.
the flip book was a teaching moment for myself, like, you need to put that on everything that they're writing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving them like that actual space and that scaffold, it can really help. Um, if you were to tweak kind of like one other small part, because I
Mhm.
mean, that was a very small part, but it seems like you're seeing
Yeah.
it made big changes. If you were to tweak like another small part of the routine to make it easier or more effective, like, do you have any ideas about what it might be?
Yeah, I right now, because students like bring all their materials, like all their materials are separated. And so what I would prefer to do is them not even have to go to get their markers and come back. When we do transition into UFly, they are doing it very quickly now. Like, okay, row one, get your marker, come back. But it would be a little easier if we just had the markers with the clipboards. The only issue with that, we tried like going to requisitions and they don't have 26 whiteboard markers. We do have the markers here, but then it becomes, I have Salomón's marker, I have Lorenz's. Like if they don't have their marker. So I think that adjustment would just take more time. And so for now, it's like getting their markers.
Yeah.
It's working. So we'll just leave it.
Yeah. I mean, you've already made one change and you've seen improvements, so
Yeah,
you're just going to kind of give it some more time. Awesome. Well, yeah, it seems like you did the lesson that I saw. You did an amazing job of setting expectations, teaching them, explicitly how to use the lines. And now you're seeing the benefits of that change. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you had noticed any changes in their spelling abilities, and you mentioned that you felt like maybe not specifically because of the handwriting paper, but more related just to more time with the
Yeah.
UFly routines. Um, so are there any other like are there any patterns in your kids' spelling that you think that maybe if you made some sort of tweak, you could better support them?
I feel like now, teachers have like it's never ending, right? There's always something to grade, there's always something to correct. And I think sometimes with like some, morning work or like free writing and stuff, like it maybe is looked at as like more as for completion, which is fine, right? And with a couple of things, but I think like being intentional with whenever they are writing, right? What they're saying they're done, to send them back, like being consistent with that, not just telling them, oh, you missed a period here. No, go back and make that correction. Like I think for the most part, we're pretty good at that, at least like in math. But I think we like as we're doing more writing in ELA and with UFly, to be consistent with that, just so that they're making, because I think it's really easy for them to turn it in and us make the correction and grade it, right? But I'm very big on you make the correction.
For sure.
And yeah, so I think being a little more consistent with that as they start writing more.
Yeah, and I could see that helping them transfer their phonics skills out of UFly into other assignments. So yeah, I think that's a great idea to try to like, have them check it and let them know like these are the areas I want you to focus on.
Right.
And maybe you go back and check those. Well, I also wanted to ask
Mhm.
if you had any thoughts about applying a rubric to your
Yes.
spelling tests to see
For sure.
how they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. I know I was not in the first rubric meeting last week since I was out, but this week was it's needed. Yeah, a rubric is needed. I think last week I had a student that her mom emailed me kind of confused why she received a 1 because because of certain words that she had errors on, and it really made me think like a rubric would be like that focuses what? Are we focusing on the hard words? Are we focusing on the skill type that week? Are we focusing on everything that's reviewed? Because that one student was still struggling on her short vowels, which again is something that, she's not like a reading intervention candidate, like, but short vowels is something that we're just not reviewing at this point. And, things like O and U, like where for a lot of our students it's typical to mix those up. But
they're language learners.
Right, exactly. So, I'm excited to implement that because I think we'll see, not that it's about the scores, right? But we'll see, she was really, really upset about her 1. And when I looked at it, I was like, wow, this stinks because it wasn't like it was all wrong, right? Yesterday she did much better, and it was like the review of the digraph that we had tested last week. But I think, a more specific rubric will be it'll help parents also understand like where their student is at.
Yeah.
Because I think parents are still, in general, it seems like with mastery learning, still not quite getting like 1 to 4 what that means. But I think it is because we use 1 to 4, but a lot of teachers still use it as like a percentage. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
So if we want parents to fully make the change, then we as teachers, we need to make the change as well.
For sure.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hearing you say, is that you think that the rubric will be a positive change for you as a teacher to help you learn more about their needs, and also will be a positive change for parents to kind of communicate what it is that we're looking at. Well, I really look forward to hearing how your experience, and I think maybe our next session could be kind of like looking at how the rubric is helping us to analyze our students' spelling work.
For sure.
So I just wanted to congratulate you on taking time to reflect on an issue that was, causing you a lot of frustration in the explicit routine. And then you came up with a simple and effective solution. And it had almost immediate effects on your students' learning. So I really hope that you feel that this meeting has been productive and helped to identify maybe some next steps that we can take take to continue to make UFly work in your classroom for you, for your students.
Super. Thank you
yes.
for your support.
No, thank you.